This is Never Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it? Let's get it.
What's up, Cowboys Nation?
What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here with Jimmy D. Hopefully, you guys had a better weekend than probably Jimmy and I had. I got double dipped. I got my Canes and the Cowboys, but we're going to get into it. But before we do, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share, get that all out of the way. I got to give major props to everybody on Twitter. Kelly and I were talking. Man, we got to start like pushing these people because you got all these followers, but not a lot of people know that you have this platform on YouTube. So Kelly, he put a tweet out there, and like I said, ain't too proud to beg, and he let it be known. And we are now 6 away from our next goal of 2,000 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, what the hell are you waiting for? Get things rolling, because we do have this lovely one. You guys, someone is going to win one of these lovely cuts by Jones. One of our sponsors does great work, and that could be yours. So definitely want to do that. But big thanks to everyone we've picked up so many new subscribers in the last month, last few weeks with a lot of our shows. Had a great time with a preview show on Sunday morning with Greg. Man, he's got a mad, Cowboys cave. He comes full uniform, Jimmy. He's ready. If somebody's injured, he's going to just drive over there and fly over there, do whatever he's got to do, and he's going to make it happen. So it's definitely cool, man.
No, that dude's no joke, man. As you can see, I'm not happy about the game.
No.
Actually, I got pissed off Saturday night because my New York Rangers hockey team blew a 3-0 lead and lost in a shootout. And then I got to see that disaster, that woeful performance at Mercedes-Benz yesterday. But we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And just what's up to everyone in the chat. Obviously, EJ, make sure Boys in the Zone. He's another great content creator, friend of the show, has always been on. If you guys ain't subscribed to him, what are you waiting for? You got a lot of these great people. Edgar, what's up? Fred and I are gonna be hanging. We're gonna become like brothers this weekend. I got the wife going out with me. He's coming down. We're gonna hang out with Eugene Lockhart. We're going to the finest Italian restaurant that Eugene was at last week. So, and we got Mark. Mark, I don't know where the hell he is, but he's gonna be coming on board. So we are gonna have a fun weekend. Playing the Giants, a little disappointed. I thought maybe it'd be a little bit better game. I've never seen the Cowboys and Giants play, but we're going to have a fun weekend. But hopefully we'll get them 6 more subscribers, and Fred's going to have to get that cut done and get it going so we can give that thing away.
Oh, Fred, Texas Live. I love that place. I can't wait until next year's Cowboys Cave tailgate down at AT&T, because I'm going to be there and you're going to be carrying me out by the end of the night.
We'll put you with all, Fred knows, we'll put you with all that music and all the stuff we'll leave you at the tailgate party. You watch the girl twerking, you just keep an eye on that chicken that people were stealing from us and dipping into our cooler, stealing our cold beer. But it'll be good. It'll be fun. So, hey, and then shout out to Doug, of course. I'll be in Carolina. I almost backed out. I almost had to back out, man. I've just got some work stuff that's just been going on. I'm not going to get into it, but I have not been home, and I'm leaving tomorrow. I am not hitting back home until Wednesday, and then I'm flying out to Carolina on Friday to go to the game. My wife signed the permission slip. She said everything is cool. You gotta go. You gotta go handle the business. Got to go see the Cowboys. Make sure you bring some good luck and some love, especially after last night. So I'll be heading out to Carolina. So anyone going to that game, make sure you hit me up.
Yeah, you know what? Big shot flying all over the place, but you know what? At least you got. Hey, what do you see? We got Carolina the following week, right?
That's like a home game. So we got the Giants,
right.
Carolina, and that's what we're going to get into.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at the game, we'll start with the Cowboy game. That was the marquee game of the weekend. Really some good games, big games. The Kansas City, Miami, we get it, Cincinnati, the Bills, and the Ravens just look like they're
Ooh.
on fire right now. So you got to what they put a beating on Seattle, and they put a beating on the Lions. So, but starting with the Cowboys, a lot of people ask me. I got a lot of messages, like a lot of hate messages, like, "Oh man, are you jumping off a bridge? Are you doing this? Or you break your TV?" And I'm going to tell you, this game, I thought we were going to win the whole time. There never was a doubt until obviously the last play, your fourth and whatever. I knew it was going to be kind of a Hail Mary, but I left confident. I believe, and some people didn't like it. Some haters didn't like it. I think Cowboys proved to me that they're the better team. I think we exploited their secondary. We did their offensive line, our defensive line handled them very well. We had sacks and pressures. We held their I mean, AJ Brown's a bad man, to make no mistake about it. He had like 70 yards. Devontae Smith had 50 yards. They didn't really do much. What killed the Cowboys are penalties, self-inflicted, and some, let's just be honest, I saw a couple $100 bills flying out of the ref's pocket. Let's not make no mistake about that. But it's a game of inches and some crucial mistakes and crucial times. I don't know mistakes, but maybe just bad luck. I mean, the tight end catches the ball and looks like he's going to get in the end zone. He got tackled. Before. Someone made a good point, Jimmy. I don't know if you're a rule aficionado or someone in the chat is, but they marked him down at the knee right when he touched the ball, not when he completed the catch.
Right? Yeah.
Well, you got to complete the catch, but when he completed the catch, was he already crossed the line? So I don't know. Let's leave it up to you guys. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk, but I believe the Cowboys are going to manhandle them at AT&T. Jimmy, you're non-biased. You're fair and balanced, as we like to say.
Right.
I mean, what was your observation if you watched the game? What was your observation?
No, look, I'm going to right down the middle. I'm going to talk. First of all, Dak Prescott looked great. We'll start right there. People are dogging him. He looked great. Your running game, not so great.
That worries me.
Yeah, that was a problem.
Yeah.
But again, and you hate to. Now the question is this: clock management late in the game with McCarthy. I'm kind of questioning that a little bit.
I didn't. What help me because I missed it then.
No, but I mean, it just I don't know. It just looked like he was toward the end there. In the last 5, it was just taking too much time. I'm like, you got to move this shit along. We got to get moving. So
well, I didn't want them. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. Maybe you're talking like when it was a few minutes. I didn't want them to score too quick because I was worried about Philly. I wanted to drain the clock and get it, and that's where the running game becomes a problem. That's where we don't have that guy that is just going to be that banger that is going to do it. And the one thing I will say, and it was showed in the all 22 and all the videos, and Ultra give him props for that. I mean, Jake Ferguson played a phenomenal game. I thought he played a good game. Had a couple probably plays he'd love to have back. This is a play he would love to have back. He did not do the pick right. If you watched Brian Baldinger, he showed the all 22, and he showed on the other side what CD did. That's what Ferguson was supposed to do. So that's what he was supposed to do, and just he missed it. That being said, it's just a game of inch. I mean, it was a tough game, but like I said, I was here. I was confident. I was in the cave, and I think we're going to smoke them. I think we're going to smoke them in December.
Were you? Well, first of all, were you talking about the play where Dak said called somebody eligible receiver? That one where you guys scored a touchdown and got called back?
They showed that where Dak did say, again, I can't read lips, I don't know, but it looked like he had pointed and said something about Chuma being eligible. They say he didn't, or whatever. They say he wasn't. So I don't know.
It's something with the officiating every week. Yeah. Every week. Okay, and like I said, we're talking Cowboys right now, but last week, A.J. Terrell got bulldogged by D. Hopkins. Yesterday, a non-holding call. Actually, Mark and I were talking about it on Twitter, where it kind of screwed us near the end of the game. But whatever. I mean, that is what it is, and it seems to be a recurring theme. There's going to be bad calls every week, and the officials, sorry, we missed it. There's no repercussions for the officials.
Yeah.
But whatever. That being said, I mean, at the end of the game, what'd you have? You had the delay a game maybe and a sack.
Well, you had the 5-yard back, and then you had a bad sack. And I know a lot of people want to hate Dak, but Jesus God, Steele, can you at least touch somebody? I mean, he didn't even touch the guy. So, I mean, if you're the quarterback, you got to think you have a little bit of time.
Right.
Steele played like shit, for lack of a better words. This is the second time San Francisco played bad. I understand he's coming back from ACL, whatever it is, but my man's got to step it up. My man's got to step it up in these types of games because you can't have any of that. So,
No, exactly.
and
There we go.
little receiver penalty today. Yeah, that cost him the goddamn game. Admitting it today doesn't help us yesterday.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just get me going. Now I'm going to get fired up because I didn't know that. Mark had to get me going.
It's the same crap every week, and like you said, they admit to it, but you get nothing out of it. So big deal. But but that was a crumb. But Dak played well. I mean, he played a very, very good game.
And he played one of his. I'm telling you, where I think Dak is always at his best. We talked about it on a preview show. Where Dak is at his best is when he's moving around. He's not. I don't like him. Sitting back. He's not Brady. He's not Roger. He's not any of the Breeze and not those. When he's moving and throwing on the run, I think he's as good as any quarterback. I would put him up against anybody except Mahomes. When he gets into that impulse, and I just want to play this real quick. Let me play what our man Parsons said about Dak since you were talking about it.
Okay.
Let me clean this up a little bit. Get back to that. We'll get back to the officiating because we're not done with that.
Dak's a freaking warrior. There's multiple times I was like, that's Dak Prescott, bro. Like, he's a dog. He a warrior. I got unbelievable amount of confidence in him. I thought he had a great game. I think people need to put more respect on him. He outplayed everyone today.
And I would agree with that. I think he did outplay everyone on the field today. And like I said, it's just, you didn't win. And unfortunately for the Cowboys, and this is a thing that I said, Jimmy, I don't know if you agree or if the chat, if you guys think I'm crazy or disagree, but this game this was more important for Philly than it was Dallas. And I know we're a game back and this brings you 2 games back, but you got to win your home games against your rivals.
That's right.
And Dallas, I'm telling you, if Dallas would have won that game, I would have said the NFC is wrapped up because I think Dallas beats them at home. That's a 3-game swing. You got the tiebreaker. So a lot of people are making this out. I mean, Dallas was the underdogs, whatever. Dallas choked, Dallas this and that. Philly is a good team. You can't take anything away from them. They played well. I thought we played better. But at the end of the day, you never apologize for a victory. They won the game. Hats off to them. But I just thoroughly believe that, and Mark will be there, and he'll be there with the Tampa Bay Cowboy Nation crew. We are going to throttle them at AT&T.
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, like you said, to them, that's their Super Bowl. They're all hyped. They're happy. They have to win that home game, right? They have to win the home game. And frankly, a couple, game of inches and that bad non-call, or the bad call against you guys, you won, right? Yeah. But what are you going to do? And Jalen Hurts, look at, man, he played efficiently. He played well. I don't think he was great.
No. He did what he had to do. I mean, there's definitely something wrong with him, right? There's definitely he just doesn't look like he ain't looking to run. He ain't looking to run, and he was hobbling around a little bit. I mean, and that's going to take its toll on him. But I mean, he was efficient with some of his passes, but they didn't. I mean,
efficient.
They didn't.
He was efficient, right?
The thing I'll give him, that damn tush push, whatever the hell they call it.
Yeah.
I mean, I said this, and I'm old school. I'm going to lay out that quarterback, and I'm going to hit him hard. And I'm just, go ahead and get the yard, but your quarterback is going to get hurt. And I'm just saying that's the only way you stop.
Okay. He's going to pay the price.
You got to pay the price. And I don't want to see anyone get injured. I'm not trying to be like that. But I'm saying is you gotta do something. You got to do something to stop it because it's unstoppable. I mean, you almost wonder if they can just do that 3 plays and just 4 plays and just go ahead and get a first down.
Well, it's silly because my mom can be a quarterback and get a few yards on a play like that and let a tush push. And to that point, Ultra, you took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, they lost their tight end for the next month.
I knew it was broken. I don't know if you watched that play, but with the way his arm got wrapped underneath I said he's done. And I don't want to see anyone.
No,
honestly, you don't want to see anyone get hurt.
No, you don't root for that. We're all human beings. We want to win, but we don't want to win like that. But when you see somebody's arm or that other guy in Pittsburgh with his knee, things aren't supposed to move quite like that, and it looked terrible.
Other key thing in the game, it wasn't really talked about, And some people said, I saw someone talking about, they said, they probably would have done it anyway. But they got a good spot, first drive, third down. They got a good spot to bring up fourth down. And I don't know why we didn't challenge the spot. It was a good another yard, maybe yard and a half back. And I just don't know if they would have had the balls to go for it on like 4th and 2 inside their own 30. They get that and they score. I mean, they scored a touchdown, on that drive. So it just makes there's little things in the game, and that's what Jimmy Johnson and a lot of these coaches, you could get 2 or 3 plays out of a game and it could just change everything. And that's how close everything is in football.
And that, or that creates, or could be a momentum shift that those plays make, right? Yeah. So, yeah. But I think you guys, you got the Jets. So you have 2 easy wins coming up.
So we're going in with whoops, I did that again. We're going in with the Giants, the Panthers. Then we got Washington, Seattle at home, and then Philly. So we've got 3 of our next 4 games are at home. The Panthers are the only road game. That's going to be like a home game. Let's just be honest with each other. It's basically 4 home games. And then, then you got Philly at home. So the Cowboys have a lot. They've got a lot of momentum that they can build. And to calm everyone down, after 8 games, I had the Cowboys 5-3. We can go back to the show and look at them 5-3. I said they go 7-2 down this stretch. I thought they'd lose at Miami and at Buffalo. I'm not so sure about either one of those games right now. The thing I would say about Buffalo and Miami, they are, I don't want to use the word like Apollo or Clubber Lang, they're tailor-made for us, but their style fits our defense. And what I mean by that, they're not a physical running team. They're not a physical pounding like the San Francisco. Everything's physical with them. I think that gives our team trouble sometimes. So, maybe we take one of those games, only lose one. The other game that's kind of, you could say, up in the air is Detroit. That's going to be late in the year. I think it's the next to the last game. We don't know how Detroit is. I mean, they got throttled by the Ravens, but they've looked good. And then they'll go in. Don't you tell me, Claudio. You guys know your Dolphins. Your Miami Dolphins are soft. And the Lions could have clinched up. You don't know. You just don't know how things go near the end of the year. So it's going to be interesting. And the Eagles have their gauntlet. Their next 4 games are going to be, not easy games. I mean, San Francisco, Kansas City, Buffalo, and then Dallas. I mean, this ain't over yet. This ain't over. It ain't over.
No, it ain't over. And what you see with Buffalo, and we'll probably get to them in a little bit. You don't know what you're getting with them each week, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got the Jets are half a game behind Buffalo right now.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you're going to get with them. But you guys,
I don't think they're that good. I mean, that's the one thing we're gonna, we could shift gears. I keep playing it. Maybe we'll talk about it. I mean, these teams are at a crossroads, right? We're almost halfway through the season. I mean, Buffalo is 1. I think San Francisco's got to go to Jacksonville this weekend. They've lost 3 in a row. Jacksonville is 6-2. You're going cross country. You know how that goes. And some of these teams, they could lose 4 in a row. That's not going to be that surprising, would you?
No, you know what? It very well could happen. Jacksonville hit their stride, and we said it early, man. I know they came out the gate slow, but with that offense they have, they're no joke, right? And San Francisco, again, I still think Purdy's having residual concussion issues. Their offense is hurt. They have problems on defense with injury. So it's tough. We'll see what happens. You know me, I'm not a 49er fan, but I do like Brock Purdy, and he doesn't look himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. You talking about what was this Dak?
No, it's my man Mark. He wrote a big thing, but we can't get it all on there. But he was just saying Dak played a really good game. Those
great game. 374 yards and 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. Come on. But yeah, and Edgar,
what's the vibe up in New York right now? You're up there. What's the vibe up there?
Oh, people have come. Some people are questioning Josh Allen's decision making, and they're right, because sometimes he forces the ball, and they're just uneasy because, again, we talked about it before the season. Tua, if he remains upright, the Dolphins are a really good team, and they're a force in the AFC East. The Bills are so up and down. They're like the Minnesota Vikings of last year. You don't know what you're going to get week to week. Yeah. And they're nervous, man. especially when the Jets are half game behind you and
As I said,
they
the
suck.
Jets have a winning record. People talk about this and that. I mean, they got a winning record, but the thing is what Edgar talked about with Josh Allen. He's a turnover machine, and he just
He is.
continues to get a pass. So I don't know where they're going to be. Now, I want them to beat Philly. Of course, they're one of those teams I had on that list, and I'd love them to wake up and be the Bills that you think they could be. But I don't know, man. They don't really seem like I'm not getting that worried about them. And then San Francisco's another team that Philly's got to play. And again, it's when you play them. They're another
Yeah.
team that's kind of sitting at the crossroads. I mean, they could be on the verge of losing 4 in a row. And they got to play Philly. You lose that one, that could be 5. I mean, they could be start getting into this, wondering where you're going to make the playoffs, because Dallas is going to make the playoffs. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, barring some crazy thing that could happen. I think even, God forbid, an injury, they will make the playoffs. I think they're going to make the playoffs. It's all about where you match up, where the matchups are, where the seeding is. Sometimes being the 2 seed isn't the best thing in the world.
And who's hot at that point? And Mark, I don't think the Dolphins are frauds, man. I got to disagree with you on that. I mean,
I don't know, man. They didn't beat anybody. That's like everyone says that about us. They didn't beat anybody either.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they're the real deal. And if, again, Tua remains healthy, they take the division, and then we'll see. You might not see another team make it out of that AFC East if the Dolphins take it. The way the Bills are up and down.
No, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. The Ravens, we're talking about, the Ravens are a team that I mean, they're hitting their stride now. Now they peak too soon, or are they gonna come down a little bit? I think their style of play does not bode well in the playoffs. I still don't believe that Lamar is a good enough throwing quarterback when it comes down to the playoff time, when you gotta throw the ball. You know what I mean? I just don't know if they got it. And that's what kills them every time in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, again, it's who's hot when the playoffs come around, right?
Yeah.
That's the big thing. Again, we look at Jacksonville. They came out slow and everybody wrote them off. Now look at them. 6 in a row. Now you look at our division. I'm going to talk some Falcons. I'm pissed. We got Ritter was out, thank God. So Heineke actually played a good game. Drake London was hurt. We could not get touchdowns. We had 5 field goals by Koo. But again, Heineke played well, and you just get pissed off because what happens? Dobbs ends up in the game. Yet again, a game we should have won. We should have beat Tennessee the week before. We should have beat Minnesota yesterday. No problem. Give up a late touchdown, and you just shake your head, And that's how we got Arizona this week. Now I got to worry that we're going to beat them. I mean, I'm serious.
And they got Murray's back. He's going to be starting against
Tyler. Yeah, exactly. Well,
I mean, and he could be a problem. I mean, he hadn't played in a while. He come off an injury. But he could be a problem and say it's when you play. But the problem that I saw with the Falcons, I watched some of that game,
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Is, Heineke, I mean, he is what he is, and he did exactly what he kind of does, and he makes some bad choices, and he end up losing a game or just makes bad decisions. I just think the quarterback is holding back. But my bigger issue with the Falcons is you draft a guy top 10 in the draft. I mean, he's a running back that has all the skill set. Receiving, he could run, he could do everything. And you don't use him. Why the hell did you draft him? You could have got Carter. You could have got some help from other guys that you could have drafted instead of a running back, because you guys had a good running game. It wasn't like you guys had a crappy running game. You went for him. Well, God dang it, man. I mean, it's just like Kyle Pitt. I mean, how do you not use this guy's a freak? He's a mismatch. Yes. He's a nightmare to match up against. I don't understand how you don't use him.
And it is. So Jonnu Smith was our tight end that caught the long touchdown yesterday. And Steve, to your point, it was a big fumble. But at the end of the day, we, with the exception of the first 2 out of 3 games, we haven't used Bijan properly.
No.
He had 11 carries yesterday. That's ridiculous. And that's why I'm hanging this upside down today, because I'm pissed off. I mean, he had 11 rushes. He should have been running all over their asses yesterday, right? Yeah. Heineke, like I said, he shouldn't have had 38 passes, though. right? He shouldn't have been in that position.
No.
Should have been 30
Well, that's
top.
the thing with your running game that you got for 3 a month. You guys should be able to do it more. You
Well,
know,
and not only that, not to interrupt you, but we got Tyler Algier, who is a 1,200-yard rusher. So when Bijan's off, we got a guy who can start on any team in the league.
yeah.
As in the running back spot. So that's what bothers me the most. And, Josh Dobbs comes out. He's their entire freaking offense. I mean,
Yeah. You knocked the one quarterback out. He don't even know the playbook yet, and then he goes in. So, yeah. And then the Buccaneers, C.J. Stroud, who marked the tape. Who told you C.J. Stroud was going to be the best rookie quarterback of the draft class? And I mean, he's been playing very well. And it's not that I think maybe he's the best skill set. I just think he was in the best situation. I like D'Amico Ryans. I think he's going to be a great coach. He's a young coach, and I just think the pieces that they had together there and the stability. I just thought that was going to be the best situation for him. And I think all the quarterbacks have done pretty well. The kid from the Titans has done pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
in a tough situation, obviously with Carolina, but some of these guys have been playing very well. But who's been playing really good, Jimmy?
Who's that?
Who's been absolutely bringing it. And I'm just gonna say, I mean, I don't know what you guys do. If you guys take this man's advice, I wish you would, because he has been on an absolute tear. A tear. Do you understand what I'm talking about? A tear.
Yes.
Making some money, and we're talking about Uncle Cheech. Let's get Uncle Cheech on here real quick.
Hey, Falcon, I think you're.
I mean, we're talking about the Vegas Insider. I mean, this guy makes all these other guys look like clowns. I mean, we're talking about unbelievable winning and getting things going. So, Jimmy, what's up?
Wait a minute. I got to see, when you deal with Uncle Cheech, I told you he helps me pay my mortgage and my car payment, right? Finest bottles of wine. Money coming out everywhere. I even got euros thanks to Uncle Cheech.
That's what we're talking about.
That's how you take control of that.
So what's up, Uncle Cheech? How you?
Let's guys. Had a real good week.
Very good.
4 for 4.
You were killing it.
Every pick I made covered. My lock. That's what am I? 8 for 10, 80%.
We're gonna get into that. But I just want to understand is, Uncle Cheech, you're hitting numbers that, I mean, these guys, they're on NFL Network, they're on ESPN, they're getting paid all this money to give people bad advice. We're giving it to people for free.
That's right. You got to tune into the Cowboys cave. You want to really make some money.
Now we're talking about.
You want to get some good advice on how to turn that money over.
And that's what we're going to get into here with Uncle Cheech. And let's just talk about it. 59% overall. That includes your upsets. Wow. Take the upsets out. You're probably rolling a 70% clip on all your picks. Then your locks, 80%. Is there anyone even close right now?
Nobody. Jimmy the Greek, it ain't close. What's his name? Rothstein. You're that big fat guy from Miami. Goldberg. Nobody even came close to 80% on their best day.
No.
And
you're killing it. Jimmy used to prank call. Didn't you prank call?
I got Hank Goldberg a few times, man. He had some good comebacks, so I'll give him credit.
All right, so Uncle Cheech, what are we looking at? What are you looking at this week? What are the games to keep an eye on?
All right, my first pick's going to be Detroit at the Chargers, LA Chargers. I'm going to take Detroit minus 1.5. That game, I think they're a better team.
That's a tricky line, isn't it? Does that surprise you? Does that surprise you, that line, or no?
Oh, what's the change from this morning?
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I thought it'd be more than that myself.
Yeah, I would have thought it'd been more. I just hope this ain't no trap game or anything like that. You know how they try and do that stuff. So
okay, my next pick, Washington at Seattle. Washington, here we go again. We're going to travel across the country. I picked that last week. I told you, traveling across the country. On Seattle at Baltimore, you saw what Baltimore did to them.
Oh, destroyed him.
Oh,
By the
God.
way, I'm going to tell you, I watched a lot of games yesterday, and yesterday that was the best team I saw.
No, they're playing good. I mean, they're playing
The
good. My concern
defense played
always with them
lights
is
out. They
playing.
rushed for 245 yards.
Yeah, yeah,
Rushing. But that was yesterday, so season's a long way to go.
yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
going to take Washington. I'm going to take Seattle -6 in that game. Washington at Seattle
All right.
-6.
So those are the ones. So what we got? This is our upset special.
My upset, I'm going to go back to Georgia again. They haven't covered but twice in all their games. At home, on the road, they only covered twice. And one time I happened to pick them. If you remember a couple weeks ago, I picked Georgia over Florida. That's one of the only time they covered. Mississippi's got a good team. I think they're ranked 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Mississippi +11 at Georgia. That's my upset special.
I like it. Now you sent me your list, and I'm going to be honest with you. This one just absolutely crushed me.
It breaks my heart. What?
I mean, when we're
You don't bet with your heart. You got to bet with your head.
I know where we're going here.
My heart. This took me to my knees.
When we're talking the lock of the week.
Lock of the week, Miami Hurricanes at FSU. I'm going to take FSU and give 14.5. Miami looked terrible. They couldn't even score a touchdown last week. FSU blew their opponent away. I think the defense for Miami will keep them in the game for maybe a half, maybe. And then they won't be able to handle it anymore, and it'll get ugly after that. Breaks my heart, but I bet with my head, not my heart.
Yeah, no, you're better than me. I couldn't. Yeah. And I'm just curious. And you may not know this, so I apologize for asking you off the cuff. But your lock of the week, has your lock of the week, even if they haven't covered, has your lock won every week?
You know what? I don't remember.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
All right. I'm just trying to. I'm looking for any glimmer of hope.
I'll tell you what. I know Kansas City didn't win one week. I think last week or the week before I had them at the lock.
All right. So you're saying there's a chance. You're saying there's a chance that Miami could pull out the miracle. I just don't see it. I mean, we could talk about the Canes a little bit. And what is your thought? You're down. You got the pulse of Miami. You've been you've been donating to this program. You got I think a wing named after you down over there. I mean, what's going on with this program? When can they get back? They're like my Cowboys. It's been forever.
People got to be patient. I told you I was impatient with Butch Davis. I wish I had all the money I spent on Paul D, taking him out to dinner, buying him drinks, trying to slip a few bucks under the table to get rid of Butch.
Yeah.
And then I ended up eating crow. Be patient. He's bringing in some big linemen, 6'7", 6'8", 350 pounders. He'll probably, I wouldn't play that rookie yet. I mean, the freshman, I wouldn't put him in this game. It's a rivalry game. They're way overmatched. I don't think it'd be a good position for him. If I had my way, I'd start him at the Boston College game and play him in the bowl game. They're probably going to lose this one. They got Louisville next. It's a very formidable team. I think they're ranked 10th or 9. They could challenge Florida State. They're probably going to have to play for the ACC.
Yeah. No, so, I would play him now. Cheech, I saw Clarence. He wanted to show some love. He won $600 on your picks, and now we got guys. Now Mark's trying to get $20 off him. And I remember, you told me what do you do if people want to borrow money? I mean, what's kind of the going rate nowadays? What are we looking at interest wise? What does Mark got to look at trying to borrow?
You got to pay 15%.
I tell a story, Jimmy. When I was a kid, my grandpa, he lived with us, and I was working. My brother wasn't, and he wanted to borrow some money, and so he wanted to borrow, I don't know, $10 or whatever it was as kids. And my grandpa told me, he goes, if he borrows money from you, got to charge him interest, 18%. I didn't know what the hell that shit was, but he already had that mindset. You got
Right.
all that kind of money.
No, it's called Italian interest.
All right.
Hey, it's a high interest loan with no collateral,
Nobody
except for
rides
your
it.
knees and your fingers.
So,
But anyway, that was a good week.
no,
I'm real
excellent week.
surprised. I picked James Madison. They were 5-point favorites. They beat them by 35.
That was for Charles Haley. Good job. Let me ask you, Uncle Cheech. You're in the know. I mean, you study these games. You got connections. So you saw the game. You saw the game Sunday. What was your observation? Cowboys, Eagles, an outsider's perspective. I mean, how did you think those teams matched up? They're going to be playing again in Dallas in 4 weeks. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
I think you would have beat them. I mean, you had every opportunity. You got couple bad calls. You got pushed. You were on the 5-yard line. Had a chance. Ended up getting pushed back to the 20. Dak made a great play, but he stepped out of bounds. I mean, the whole thing. Little things.
Yeah.
I think when you get them at home, I think you'll take care of them.
Yeah.
I wasn't really impressed myself.
That's the thing. They haven't been impressive, but they just keep winning.
Well,
That's the thing. They just
Did they hit their stride early?
yeah.
Not that the $100 bills weren't flying out of the
And did you see it? Because I saw it. Did you guys see money flying out of the ref's pocket? Because I could have sworn one guy's hugging the other guy, patting him on the ass. Next thing you know, you see a player sliding stuff in his jockstrap, pulling out $20. I don't know what the hell's going on around.
I think he was giving him a reach around. I couldn't believe it.
But
now I didn't know Uncle Cheech. So obviously you had football, you had the breeder. What else was Uncle Cheech doing this weekend for fun?
For fun?
For relaxation.
Oh, for fun. What do I do? Let me see. I watched Sanford and Son.
Yes.
Excellent show. I don't know if you're watching on Decades. Excellent show. Good choice. One of my favorites.
I found out Channel Decade. They got Sanford and Son, all the old shows.
Yeah.
They're old like me, but
all right.
Good, clean fun back then.
It was funny because I was laughing. Uncle Cheech went to the show that we did for Tampa Bay's Cowboys Nation. Great time.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get back there. That was just so much fun. And I've met a couple people there, follow the show, follow the channel. One guy was just awesome, just great guy, but he's like 6'4", big guy. and he goes, hey man, he goes, you got to do that knee slap for me. I got to see it. So, I'm not going to be one to say no. So I went ahead and I go through the door and I do the knee slap out the door, the door of the place, and he's laughing, and it just made me think of that Sanford and Son where the guy was laughing at him with his walk. Look, he's walking. Do that funny walk again. He goes,
funny walk.
No, one of the best episodes when Julio took Fred over to the his Puerto Rican restaurant. the sangria.
Sangria.
What does that mean? It means blood.
Give me some line.
Yes, hold the garbage.
I watch the Three Stooges a lot, and they're my favorite. I watch them all the time, and then put around and outside once in a while. Now it's getting cold.
I know.
So you stay in more. The summertime, I'm in the hot tub by the pool. Yeah. Me and Maria LaBeiche, we go down there and use her for shade, get a nice tan.
Oh, man. Well, Uncle Cheech, we love having you. 4-0. The man is, the man, the myth, the legend. If you guys have any sense, of course, this is for entertainment purposes. I only want to put that disclaimer out there. And really, tell them, Uncle Cheech, make sure everyone knows. We don't want to get no one in trouble.
Just remember, when you try to cuddle up to your wife after you lost all that money, and she tells you no dice, and you got to turn to Mary and her 4 friends, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Uncle Cheech is talking about some of this right here.
All right, Uncle Cheech.
All right,
we
guys.
appreciate it.
Grazie mille.
I hope you're 3-1. I hope you're wrong about the Canes, but the only way I want the Canes is way I want them to win. I don't want them to cover. So
Well,
if they
I'm
can't
going to tell
cover-
you, I don't care who plays quarterback. They're not going to beat that team. I don't
All
care who
right.
plays. They could bring Gino Torretta back.
No.
They're not going to win that game. Who plays tonight? The Jets and
Jets and isn't it the Chargers?
Chargers.
Yeah,
Jets and Chargers, yeah.
this will be interesting. See, I'm so
Interesting.
surprised you picked the Chargers. They played tonight. But do you have any thoughts on that game?
No,
Or
I didn't pick the Chargers. I picked
Oh, you picked the Lions. That's right. Yeah. I'm surprised you took that game because you obviously don't know what'll happen.
I really didn't study it, but I hope the Jets win.
Yeah.
Being from the New York area.
Yeah. It's a good story. It's a good
Yeah.
story. So. All right, Uncle Cheech, we will see you next week.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Il migliore, grazie.
Take
Grazie
care.
mille.
Oh man,
Uncle
Jimmy
Cheech is
D,
the best. I'm telling
know,
you, man.
I tell you, he's produced, and I'm just telling you guys. I mean, I kid you not. Never want to get gamble if you want, but the numbers that he's putting together: 80% clip on his lock and 60% on overall, including the upsets. With upsets, you shouldn't really pick. If you got a few extra bucks, you put it on there just to have some fun. But he's been good.
It's like I said a couple weeks ago. Me being a University of Miami alumni, I attended there 6 weeks, and there's a building named after him, the Uncle Cheech Building of Statistics and Math. Right? So I mean, that he knows what he's talking about. They named it after him. So, no, he's the best. I'm telling you, man, he's making me money. I'm a happy camper.
No, and what he said, you look at the games going into next week. Not a lot of huge matchups. I mean, like you said, you guys are at the Cardinals. I mean, that's kind of a weird game. The Lions at the Chargers. That's going to be more of an interesting game than I think. Cowboys, the Giants. I mean, they're in total disarray.
Daniel Jones is Brian Daboll went nuts on the sideline yesterday. Yeah. Daniel Jones is done. Waller's out.
I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. So, I mean, really, the marquee game that's got a lot of interest. And it's odd. And this is the thing I'd say. This is, again, while I'd watch the 49ers. I don't know why the NFL does it. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's whatever. But they've got, unless they changed it, they have that game, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock game on Sunday, which is basically 10 o'clock San Francisco time. That's why making that switch, that east to west coast, especially west to east, if they started at 1 o'clock, I mean, that is just criminal. But I'm not going to complain because I hope it screws the Niners up to lose another game. The Niners will keep losing, and these idiots still come attack me. Like, all right, we beat you. Well, right now your record's worsened. Your record keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and so we'll see what happens.
Well, it is too. It's kind of like you had the Dolphins in Kansas City on at 9:30 Eastern yesterday. So it's crack ass at dawn out west. I mean, really, I woke up and oh shit, there's a game on. Right?
Yeah. Well, I said on our pregame show on Sunday, I think the NFL. I know it's about the money, so of course I get it. But how the hell do you put Kansas City and Miami? That is such a disadvantage to both those teams.
Yes.
Kansas City loses a home game, which they have a huge home field advantage. All right, they won, so it didn't hurt them. Then you ask these teams to travel, and this game could decide the seeding. It decides so much, and you play it in Germany. And make these guys travel. I think it's terrible.
No, it's ridiculous.
The NFL. Terrible.
Well, and that's what we said. Again, it's about money. And look, there's a European fan base. I know there's a lot of European, on the listening to the Cave and tag.
The play put the Cardinals. Put the Cardinals in the Panthers. Or the Thursday night game. You got the Bears and the Panthers. Put that over there. Put that over there if you want to do it.
But again, it gets back to this is not the NHL. It's not the NBA. They have 82 games, and when they play their games overseas, they do it early. Like they start there, play a few games, come home, take a week off, then move on.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do that in a 17-week season. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I mean, and I get it. It's all about the money. I get it. It's just you cannot. It's just not fair. But again, it's driven by money, and that's why I always say, I don't care what these players make. Make as much money as you can. I mean, because the NFL don't give two shits about you.
No, they don't. It's just
make as much as you can.
Just like the player safety, which is a bunch of crap. And for that the matter of that game, for the matter of that game, that was a bizarre game because in the first half, Kansas City kicked their ass.
Oh, dominated.
And there was a complete flip in the second half. And, Miami, again, similar to Dallas, where, it wasn't a blowout by any stretch.
Yeah.
But at the end, I said, gee, they're going to tie this game up.
Yep.
And then a couple sacks on Tua, and that's all she wrote.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. If they had such a great fan base over there, how come the European Football League folded up like a tent? It always does. It always
right.
does. The NFL is going to shove it down their throat. I mean,
Of course.
the thing is, you got to understand the NFL is never going to be basketball. It's not going to be baseball. It's never going to be like that over there. It's just, soccer. It's just not. I mean, look at soccer in the U.S. I mean, no one cares. I mean, and now they do because you got Messi over there or whatever. But for the most part, I mean, no one cares. You know why? It's
No.
on delay, and it's a great sport to play. It's just not, it's probably not the best to watch.
But again, it's cultural, like you said, in Europe and South America, and actually, I think everywhere but North America, soccer is
We
big.
all played soccer. I played soccer all the way up until I couldn't anymore. Until middle school, high school, whatever. Every kid, most kids nowadays play soccer, but it never really translates up into the professional ranks where kids are wanting to go and do that. And
Right. But anyway, so there was that game in Europe, right? And then you had, I did want to touch base on that Bengals and Bills game because you see Joe Burrow, who I was dogging a month ago. He's finally starting to heat up, and I think you even called that.
Yeah, no, he's good. I think he's the second best quarterback in the NFL, hands down. I mean, to me.
I mean, I was laughing because they signed him to the big contract and he looked like crap and he was hurting this and that. Now he's hitting his stride. But the one thing, again, I'm gonna dog the NFL like we were, talking about Europe. Josh Allen runs in a touchdown and all he does is kind of point at somebody and they flag him 15
Did they
for
really?
sportsmanlike. And I said, this is ridiculous. I mean, I didn't care less about the Bills or Josh Allen or whatever.
Yeah.
I have no vested interest in that game, with the exception of Joe Burrow being one of my fantasy quarterbacks. But beyond that, what do you're throwing a flag because he pointed at somebody? He said he was antagonizing them or whatever, taunting. It's so stupid. You can't do anything anymore, and that's why it's a no fun league. It was great in the old days when you had prime time, high stepping down the sideline. That's what we need more of because it's a show. It's a sport, but it's a show. Just like in NASCAR, you want to see car wrecks. You don't want to see people get hurt, but you want car wrecks. In hockey, you want to see fights. In basketball, you want to see like hardcore dunks over people. People getting dunked on. That's what. And football, I'm sorry, you want to see action, but you want to see some entertainment value in it.
No, absolutely. And that's the thing with the officiating. It's ridiculous. Football is a game of emotions. It's a game of emotions. You're going to have those natural reactions, those impulse things, and you gotta let that slide. I mean, you gotta let it slide unless someone's punching someone, unless someone's standing over them while they're hit, like for a long time or this and that. But if a guy gets a big hit, man, you get jacked up, man. It's adrenaline, it's emotion, it's everything that goes with it. Anyone who competes in any kind of combat sport or anything where there's physical combat, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, that's what you're dealing with. And it's gotten so sensitive. Everything is so damn sensitive.
It's ridiculous.
You can't hurt anyone's feelings. You can't do this. You can't do that. Whatever. But I think it's crazy. And you're talking 15-yard penalties impact the game. It's just the roughing the passer.
Yes.
I mean, Jesus, get me started on this roughing the passer crap. I mean, I saw a guy last week, he kind of pulled up on him and just had his hands here and pulled up, and they called him 15 yards. Now the quarterbacks just go looking for the flag anytime they get hit.
No, and that's the thing. And some of them are so inconsistently called. One's a rough in the passer. The next one is clearly a rough in the passer, and they don't call it. And like you said, that has a huge outcome. A huge outcome on the game. But to your point, I don't care if I'm sitting there. If it was you and me, and we spit up against that wall to see who would get down to the bottom first, and I win, I'm like, yeah, but I took care of that business. That's what happened. I'm getting hype. I want to win.
Competitive.
Right. Exactly. So, Ultra, to your point, I was going to bring up Diggs because he was carrying on yesterday. He was pissed off, and I get it.
You called it in the offseason.
I called it in the offseason. I thought he was going to be gone in this past offseason, but he's a goner in the next offseason. He is throwing tantrums like crazy in the middle of games. He doesn't care who's watching. You want to keep all your family business behind closed doors, and he's not doing it. So he'll be a goner. He will be in Dallas with his brother next year.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. The calls are terrible. The calls are terrible.
Awful. They're awful. And the thing is, it pisses me off more is they're inconsistent. And then you get your wide receivers can do whatever the hell they want to the defensive backs, but the defensive back, touches them. It's a PI or 5, touch them on 5 yards. You know what I mean? It's stupid.
No, it's frustrating. And I like watching Olympic. I'll watch Olympic any sport because I just love the pride and the country's battle. And so, yeah, I've watched soccer or any of that, but I don't watch it outside. Like I watch gymnastics. I watch ice skate. You think I'm going to watch it outside the Olympics? I'm not going to do it. But there's different things that you watch, but you guys catch the drift.
No, my favorite is women's volleyball. Now that I can get on board with that.
I'll watch that all year round. I mean, I'll be honest. I'll watch that all year round. What was it? Who was that? It was Misty May and the blonde. I forgot who they were, but yeah,
I don't know, but it was a great match.
Yeah. No, always.
They were big. It was extraordinary match.
And I like synchronized swimming. If we're countries are battling, I'll watch curling. I don't give a shit. I watch any of that.
Curling, dude. When I lived
curling, I want to see us win.
When I lived in Montreal, I get all banged up on Friday night, and I'd wake up to curling in the middle of the afternoon on TV, and I tell you, it helped the hangover. It's fun to watch. It's a good time with the broom and
Yeah. So. No, it's good. And just while we got it, we got an update. You understand what I'm talking about? We got an update. Breaking news. The Cowboys Cave has hit 2,000 subscribers. Someone better not unsubscribe. Get right down to it. But we are going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to be doing a giveaway. Cuts by Jones. We're going to be giving away to a winner a custom cut by my man Fred Jones. Cuts by Jones does awesome work. So we're going to figure it out. We're going to do either a thing through Twitter where you can show that you're a subscriber, and then also we'll be doing something in the chat, and we'll be having a live giveaway show. We'll pick the day. Maybe we'll do a special day, or we'll intertwine it into something. But absolutely, thank you so much. It's been a year. It's been a long road. A lot of it's what I call the grassroots, but it's a huge thanks to all the subscribers and all you guys, especially the ones that, I know a lot of people watch the show later and they pick it up later, but the people in the live chat, I mean, you guys make it happen. You guys make it happen.
Make it fun.
Yes.
No, and Mark Ultra Falcon thank you. You guys are the best. It's funny to talk about. So last week, Halloween fell on Tuesday. So I was out and, I was helping a buddy throw candy out to the kid. One guy walks up and he's got a Terrence Newman jersey on, right? So
old school. I saw that.
Right. So, I walk up and I said, "Hey, can I get a picture with you?" His first response is, "What's the nasty social media message you're going to put about me?" I said, No. I says, "No, I'm on the Cowboys Cave. Like, that's what we do." So I'm recruiting people, like you said, grassroots. And it was pretty funny. He's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, you got to, I told him all about it. His first reaction was, I was going to dog him on social media.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Join the cave.
No, absolutely. Fred, we're going to find a winner. Now, Fred, you can't win. You're ineligible.
Oh.
Can't do it. But I saw Falk had a question. I don't talk about, Matavius Bryant. I think they're just kicking the tires. I think you just kind of look at, I don't see them adding. I'd be surprised if they added. He hadn't played football in 4 years. 4 years he hadn't played. Had some issues, but I think you always kick the tires. You leave no stone unturned. I wish they would look at a running back. I wouldn't mind them getting a bigger running back unless they want to use Rico. I mean, Rico had a nice run, and then there was a penalty, and then you never really saw much after that. But I think the Cowboys got to get more of that thunder and lightning, kind of what they had last year. I still think that's something that's missing. So, but yeah, I don't think there's much to that receiver.
No, and you know what? It's tough, like you said, and that's, I think, the biggest concern that the Cowboys have right now is the running game. You know what? Meanwhile, we have running backs and we're not utilizing them properly, and that's a tight end, and that's what pisses me off the most.
Yeah. Yeah, Ultra, we got a goddamn guy in this field, and Brandon Cooks, you don't see the damn ball. He's got so much speed. I mean, what are you gonna? It's a crowded receiver. If they bring him in, I mean, what for? He's not gonna get any touches unless they're worried about an injury or something like that. I think he's one they keep on the shelf. If in case of emergency, they'll sign him or they'll look at him. But he hasn't played an NFL game since 2018. I don't know
Yeah,
what
that's
year
tough.
we're in now. That's
Yeah.
a long time. That's a long time. I don't want to say he's washed up, but he's washed up.
Washed up.
I
True.
want to. I mean, go sign Julio Jones if you wanted to do something. I would have.
Right. Now, you see, Falcon, you had mentioned that earlier. I think you might be right because what's going on the last two Sundays with Bijan Robinson
Do you think
is
so?
strange. I don't know if he's, banging Arthur Blank's wife or Arthur Smith's wife, or I don't know what happened there, but he's in the doghouse for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because how do you only have 11 rushes? And I know he had a bad fumble, but I don't want to hear about that because every time you give him the ball, he's playing great. Everybody's going to fumble every so often. It's going to happen.
No, and he's a
Right.
rookie, but I mean, he's a special back. I mean, he is. I mean, I don't know him as well as some of the others, in the chat. I know we're really high on him when the draft came. I know Tuck was really high on him. We got a lot of draft content. I mean, I don't watch Texas play much, but I've seen enough of college and see him in some games. I mean, he looked to be a special back. I mean, and you get a guy that high in the draft. I mean, you got to use him. I don't get it.
And unless he really, was screwing somebody's wife or something bad happened that we don't know about, you got to question the coach. Coach Smith, what are you doing? There was some stupid ass play calling last week against Tennessee that I really questioned when they could have used him and instead had some trick plays and having one of our backup tight ends run out for an option pass. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. And yesterday, the play calling was better, but you need to have a steadier dose. We have two running backs, a really good one out of college, and like I said, a guy who ran for 1,200 yards last year. So what are you doing?
Yeah.
So now I might have to start questioning the coach.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it. He's not afraid to show he wears his emotions on his sleeve.
Yeah.
He doesn't keep things close to the vest. He's got to watch himself. You can get yourself in trouble in the locker room sometimes with his emotions.
No, it's true. He, as long as he's not as bad as Dable in New York, but
I mean, he's got to watch it too. But a lot of these guys get sensitive.
And Edgar, to your point, it's crazy. I love CP84. He's all about the Falcons. He's all about trying to get people on board. But when you have Algier and Robinson, he should not be in the game running, at any point in time when either of those guys are healthy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I drafted Bijan. Maybe that's why I'm so sour. I drafted him on Fantasy Football Show. I should have listened to the guys who are going to be on tomorrow night. You listen to that's Fantasy Football. They also talk about all the NFL games. But if you guys haven't checked out the Fantasy Football guys, they're a lot of fun. I mean, my son's on the show. You got Disco D. You got Jason. You got everyone loves Vince. They're a lot of fun, a lot of trash talking, a lot of fighting, and all that kind of stuff. We actually I hosted the show, and my thing got flagged for potentially inappropriate, threatening behavior because I was yelling at Vince so much because he was talking about my Cowboys. He got me charged up. I got the red flag on YouTube. I can't be on the show. I got to be careful now. I got to be nice.
You can't be on the naughty list. Yeah, no, that is a fun show. Whenever sometimes my kid has practice that night and I can't, the reception sucks, but I love watching and interacting because they're just funny. So, just all the shit, the trash talking and all that other stuff, know?
It's so much fun. And then also on Wednesday, we've got MC. You guys know her back in the day with Kelly K9. They did the podcast. They did Cowboys and Chaos. She was a huge Dak fan. I mean, she would fight somebody. You talk about Dak, you're gonna fight somebody, and blew me away. She's not a big Dak fan, and she's saying it's time to move on. And I saw some of her she's not on Twitter as much, but friends with her on Facebook. I was kind of taken aback. So she's going to be on Wednesday night, 9:00 Eastern, 8 Central. Her and Kelly. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I got some things going on, but if I'm not, she's going to be there. Eugene may show up, and if Eugene shows up, you don't know what's going to happen.
That's how Eugene's the best. Love Eugene.
Wednesday night. You guys want to check it out. Ultra wanted to remind you it's November 6th. and the Yankees are
Yankees.
still trash.
Yeah, they are. We are. We need to fire our general manager and our head coach. So Cashman and Boone got to go. We need to get Ohtani in the offseason so we get a pitcher and a hitter. And by the way, congratulations to the Texas Rangers on winning the World Series.
Oh, absolutely.
Because now it makes me feel worse than Ultra talking about the Yankees are still trash, because now the Atlanta Falcons are the team with the longest streak without having a title.
Yeah.
So thank you, Texas. Congrats on your win and for us making us look stupid.
I know. But I'm glad that Texas, I'm happy for that city. And I was happy to see them get it over, get past Houston, and Arizona's a nice story. I mean, baseball was kind of funky. You had these teams at the bottom that ended up going in there, and it was really cool. But and anyone who watches the show, if I can't make it Wednesday night, I need you to please make sure that they are in their best behavior. We can't have cussing. I mean, I told Kelly, do the video. The videos on Twitter are epic, and it's what you want. We love it, and you speak the mind. We can't have that kind of language on this YouTube channel because we get booted. And we've worked so hard to get 2,000 plus subscribers, and then to watch it just disappear in the blink of an eye. There he is.
Yeah,
yes, Kelly, we made the announcement, and definitely going to have a good time. I already told Jones he better be working on that cut. We're gonna be putting out something good. But while Kelly's listening, like I said, Wednesday, be on your best behavior. I don't want us we got 2,000 subscribers, and then we end up losing everything in the blink of an eye.
You happen to have Meta listening. They don't want to hear that kind of language.
I know, we got to be good, man. But no. What did I thought I saw, boys. We hit. Yep. It's easy. Just go to what's that? Japanese players don't like texting. Let's go to Twitch. I don't know what that is.
Twitch is like it's another platform. No, it's another platform. It's opposite YouTube.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, right. So and you can do and say whatever you want.
Yeah. There you go. Kelly's gonna bring the mute button, so he's gonna. I'm gonna make a little thing for him that way he can kind of hit. The beep when we do that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
That would be great.
I will say this, and I breaking news. And definitely, Cheech sold lap dances for the 2 days. He might have, I don't know, but this is the big one. Is when we get to 5,000 subscribers. That may take us a little while. 5,000 subscribers are going to get tickets. My tickets. You understand what I'm talking about? You're not sitting up in the last row in the 400 level. You're getting Mike Tag's tickets, and you got choices to make. If you win. You could say, you know what? I want to come with Mike Tag. He's going to be sitting next to me. We're going to watch the game. It's going to be a good weekend, so we're going to do it. So you could do that, or you could say, hey man, I want Kelly. I gotta hear all the stuff. I gotta hear the language. I gotta get all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to take the ticket for Kelly. You may say, you know what? I love Jimmy.
Yes.
The Falcons play the Cowboys next year, and I believe it's at AT&T, I think. So you may say, you know what? I want to see the look on Jimmy's face when we beat the shit out of him. And you may say, all right.
So okay. So you want to play by those rules.
Those rules. So maybe
those rules. Oh, okay. I got some evidence. I got some evidence right here.
Oh,
I got it. It's here somewhere. Yes.
But so for the 5,000, when we had 5,000 subscribers,
that is what happened when my Falcons beat the Cowboys.
We do a classic Neil match, and we lost. I hold up my end of the bargain.
That's right. We're ballsy enough to where we bet and we hold up our ends of the bargain. I've had to kneel to Mike too.
Yeah.
So,
we had a Bears game. No names need to be mentioned. He backed out of that. Of course. So thing I'll always say with Jimmy is we have credibility. We have pride. We make sure if we make a bet, we do it. But so for 5,000 subscribers, once we hit that, I'm going to give 2 tickets, club seats. You understand what I'm talking about? Club seats. You could pick whoever you want. You could take the 2 and take your wife, take your boyfriend, take your girlfriend, take whoever you want to take.
You take a farm animal.
You can take a farm animal if they let you in the stadium. Or you could take one of the crew as a guest and make a weekend out of it, have a good time, and all that stuff. So anyway, that's what we're doing for 5. We may do something for 3 and 4,000. We may do something a little smaller, but when we get to 5, I made the commitment. I talked to Jimmy, talked to Kelly, talked to Uncle Cheech, make sure they all sign off on it. That's what we're going to do for 5. So definitely hit that like, subscribe, share if you hadn't already. We appreciate it, Jimmy. I don't have anything else to say. Anything else we didn't cover?
No, we're good. It was a great show. Thanks again. Really,
Yeah.
the 2,000, that's huge. That honored, and you guys are the best. We have fun every week. I think that we should probably talk about next Monday and the possibility it might be.
Yep. So next Monday, as I told you guys, I'm traveling, got a lot of things going on. Jimmy's got some work stuff. So we're not sure if we'll be able to get a live show in on Monday. We'll figure it out. If I can do it remotely, I will do it. Same with Jimmy. It's just going to be one of those kind of last minute things. But if not, I'll put something together to at least have some content for you guys on Monday. Maybe it'll be something from the stadium because I'll be there Sunday. Maybe put something together for you guys.
Are we allowed to show Kelly's comment? Is that allowed, or is that flag us too? How does that work?
Is there language?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we can. Well,
it's great. I agree with it.
Yeah, you could probably show that. I mean,
all right, cool. All right, yeah.
So yeah, no, it's awesome, and it's grassroots, man. I tell you guys, between all of us, we got all this, we got all these followers, but it takes you guys and spreading the word. Like I said, it's all grassroots. So we appreciate it. It's honestly, it's a very proud moment for us. And I mentioned it to Jimmy. We hit the hours and we hit everything that we needed to do for monetization. Be able to. This stuff isn't free, so we gotta, we constantly trying to get stuff through and get the right equipment and try and make it the best possible thing. So it costs us money. I don't mind it because I love it. Keeps me sane. But we hit monetization last month, and I think I read only 1.7% of all YouTube channels ever hit it. So again, it's a big thank you to all you guys, all the subscribers, and everyone staying loyal to us. And if there's something that we're not doing that you guys want to see, let us know. And but definitely, so appreciate it. Jimmy, anything else before we head out?
No, everything's good to go. Thanks again, everybody. We really appreciate it. Great time as always.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks.
Is going to be commencing real soon because we getting ready to get this